what is CSS Grid. Okay, what is CSS Grid? Here CSS Grid is a two-dimensional layout system. And we can define, okay, we can define this one. We can define rows and columns as well. Okay, rows and columns. Next, rows and columns on a container. Okay, on a container, and place child items, and we have some properties also here, and I'll tell you. And it will be placed inside of the child item, actually child items inside that grid. Okay, so we call it as grid. So we have some properties here. We will define as a grid columns. So this is the properties for grid columns as well rows also here. And here we can, what is this means, this it will be helpful for, we can define, this will be, we can define columns and rows. Okay, columns and rows using grid template. Okay, using grid template, we should be in a column wise, and grid template rows also we will use, grid template rows also. So grid template rows and grid template columns, this is the grid property. Okay, so rows. Next we have the grid container. So you know what is container, so it is very big part, it will be divided into a sub parts. So this is the grid container. So the grid container is the parent with display grid. So after that, grid item. So here the grid item means, here the grid item are the grid items are the children's as well, children of the grid container. Okay, so here we have these types of item properties, that will be grid grid columns and rows, and grid container we will use, and grid items. So based on this we will based on this properties we will apply the one examples using CSS and HTML as well. Already we know how to apply the HTML. So some grid containers I will take the some skeleton properties here. So open Angular folder and open CSS folder. CSS will be the child folder here, and after shortcut key CMD, enter. So here code space dot enter. What happened? The particular folder has to be open in your Visual Studio Code, and this is the interview question. Please remember this. And one more thing, yeah, I'll tell you after some time. So here grid dot HTML or HTML. So this is the bytecode, and after that I am writing the skeleton HTML, the plain HTML I am writing using div. What is div? Div, it is nothing but container. So we have here the parent div and child div as well. So here I am going to taking the grid container here. Grid container I am taking, and after that here I am using grid class. Here in the big container I am dividing the small parts here. So here inside of the div another div I am taking, so it will call it as the nested div. So here the grid and after that I'm taking item. The class name will be the item I'm taking. Okay, so one I'm taking here, and in the div I'm using somewhat divs here. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, here just I'm changing the names. Just here I'm changing the names. Okay, so this is the parent div using child divs. So what happened, just a plain HTML I have added here. So here using CSS, how it will be, we will see. Okay, so for CSS I'm adding link tag here, link. After that rel, that will be the referral. So here the style sheet, we don't have the space between style and sheet. And after that I'm taking href. So here the href I'm taking grid HTML, the corresponding name I'm taking. So it will be closed. So it will be closed. After that I want to use sorry for interrupt. So here I have created the one one CSS folder here. So here already we have, no, don't want this thing, and here already we have the grid container. Taking this grid container, copy this class and take dot grid container here. Okay, so it will be display, this is a property and grid. So what happened, so it is nothing changes. So I want to do changes from here itself. So inspect, so it is in a mobile view. So here, so go to what is our class name, the class name will be the grid container. So you can take and you can add here. Okay, so I am taking what is our property, we have the template column and template row. So using this property I will apply the CSS now. Okay, so here I will take grid template, right, grid template. So grid template rows or else columns. So I will take the columns now. So here I am taking 150 pixel and 150 pixels, and after that 150 pixels. So 3 properties I am using at a time. So it is changed, please see, it is changing into one grid like, right? And after that you can take another, what we have already, we have completed columns. So I need row. So grid template rows. Okay, grid template rows. So here 100 pixel as well 100 pixels. So it is changed some of the gap over there, right? Next, after that directly I am using the bootstrap class, that will be the gap. So in the gap I am taking 10 pixels. So what happened, it will be around, we don't have any, I am not using any property here, directly I am using only the gap. So this gap will be taken as the 4 sides as well. So while you are writing the, you are going to using only gap, padding and margins. So single, while you are using that property will be equals the around of the 4 sides of corners. Okay, Next, I'm using here the padding. So I'm not using any right and left here. So directly I'm padding is using, so it will be given the responsive like. Okay, so here padding. So padding, so somewhat it changes will came, but it is not reflected here. So background color I'm using here. So background why when it will be used, the background will be while you are going to fetching the gradient colors or else images. In that time you will be use background. So you are going to adding some color over there, so that will be only background color you can use. Okay, so after that I'm using directly named color here. So gray. So this will be normal color, so you can use as well any of color. I'm using, yes, blue. Okay, so you can take this well, you can copy CSS from here. So what is the shortcut key for C? This one means Windows V. So this is the shortcut key, and you will see at a time 10 copy text over there. Okay, so I'm adding here. So this will be okay. So this is the grid. So I need to add the items type, or what is our next property? Items. Already container we have done. So here the grid item I need to use. So here the grid item, directly you can take the name. Just a second, my laptop stuck. So here grid item, this class will be applied for whole 6 boxes here. Okay, so here directly you can take the class CSS. So that will be I'm adding background color. So here I'm adding blue violet color white. Okay, color white I'm adding. Okay, so next, the color means the text color will be changed, and here I will apply the CSS here only. You will observe the some changes. Okay, so it is the grid, and here I'm adding the CSS. Okay, so here I will take next display flex I will add. Okay, so see here, so this is a display flex, and here I need center items. So directly you can use center items in the center. Okay, next, after that justify content. Here the justify content center, so it will be in the center. Next, font size, that will be I'm taking in the units wise. Okay, EM it will be in the unit size, so it will be increased, it will be increased like this. So that much size we don't want, so just increase option. Okay, so I'm going to taking this CSS from here itself, and I need to add the CSS in your Visual Studio Code directly. Okay, so this is the CSS, and here I want to change the background color. This will be not good. So this is the background color what I've added here. Next, here also I'm changing the background color. I think white will be mixed, right? Pink I will use. So see here, wow, it is not very good. So this is the CSS, this is the grid format, and after that I need this is not that much of responsive, so for this I need the responsive using media queries. So how it will be used, the media queries means directly you can use at the rate I'm using the support here, so media queries and support will be given the same response here. So I'm taking directly supports display grid. Okay, next, and here I am adding what we have added, dot container. So you can take I'm adding for responsive for container here, so that will be dot grid. Okay, dot grid I'm adding here. And here I'm using border 2 pixels solid. I'm taking solid, which color you want that color you can take. So I'm taking here solid as black. Okay, it will shown for identifying purpose only I'm taking. So this is the support one. So we will see what is the, so the border will come here, the border is appear, see. So after that it will not support, so this is supports. So like a if condition it will be supports, and if not supports I'm writing here. So I'm writing just a query, it will not supports, so this will be supports and this will not supports. So display grid. Okay, display grid here directly I'm taking dot no grid warning. So this is using in the if it is not supports, like a warning type I'm writing. So display block I'm using here. Okay, in the block level only, it should not be disturbed as well. So color I'm adding, color I will add red. Okay, it will for identifying purpose. So font I'm taking, font style also we have the 3 properties, bold, bolder, oblique also, right? Font bold. So already it is added, so that's why it is not showing. So this is the